Hello and welcome. So I am going to do a little bit of a video discussion of outlines. I know we have discussed this in class, but based on the assignments I'm receiving, it seems like a few students could truly benefit from a bit of a video consultation. So that's what we're going to do. The first thing I have to tell you is that a draft for a paper is not an outline. An outline is a very specific type of document. An outline is an overview of the paper you're going to write. It lists the portions or sections or regions of the paper, and it lists the topic within those portions, sections, and regions. Let's actually look. I know that many of you are a visual person, like I am a visual person. So let's share a screen and move over to an example of a classic outline. This is a very classic outline from City University, New York, one of their schools within their university. And you'll note that it has the main ideas listed in Roman numerals for sections of the paper. There are subsidiary ideas that pertain to this first idea, further subsidiary ideas that pertain to the previous ones, and you can even go more deeply than that, but this is an outline. And I do like the way that this is described here as a picture of the main ideas and subsidiary ideas of subject. I think that's a fairly nice description. Let's look at Purdue OWL Online Writing Lab. You'll note that they also have this. Here's an alphanumeric outline of the type I was just showing. They have the overall topic, the college application process. Then they have number 1, choose desired colleges; 2, prepare application; 3, compile resume. Now, under this first topic, they have subtopics that relate to this first topic. A, visit and evaluate college campuses. B, visit and evaluate college websites. And under this, they have further subtopics because apparently there are more ideas that need to be discussed in that portion of the paper that go underneath this section and pertain directly to it. So here's the section B, visit and evaluate college websites, and under that, look for interesting classes and note important statistics. So this means that when they are visiting and evaluating those websites, they are going to be looking for interesting classes and note important statistics about that class, the university, the website. All right. So this is an example of an alphanumeric outline. Now let's look at your actual assignment for paper 1. So these are the instructions for the paper. Within the instructions, an actual outline structure is provided. This is a very loose interpretation of that classical outline we were just looking at. This structure is fine for an outline. What is not fine is an actual draft of the paper. You should not turn in a draft of the paper. We are looking for notes that provide an idea of what you're going to write about, not the actual paper itself. The content and the ideas in just the key points ideas to remind yourself of what you need to elucidate on. Okay. So here we have summary response outline. Now you might want to change that title to this is an outline, but it's for paper 1. Note for paper 1 you have paragraph 1, you have paragraph 2, paragraph 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, what we see is that this could very easily be a Roman numeral if we wanted it to be. And then if you do that, the word program thinks, oh, you're writing an outline, I'll help you. And so that is one quick way to get into writing the outline. But in our case, this is just a loose version of this. You're going to need a paragraph 1 introduction. You're going to need within that introduction to do these things. And these things must appear in your introduction. It is exceptionally important that they appear in your introduction. I'll be going over this again in your conference with me. All right, so here we have paragraph 1 introduction. It includes stating that this is a summary response paper, introducing the article including the author, their name, the title of the article or journal, and the author's thesis. The author's thesis, not your thesis, the author of the article you're summarizing and responding to. What is their thesis? Then you have to tell us your thesis. And it can be one of three things. You agree that the author did convince you of their perspective, you somewhat agree that they convinced you, or you don't agree that you were convinced by them. Okay. Then you explain to the reader that the paper will summarize key points of the article before responding to the article. And that's all you say. You say something very much like that, almost exactly the same as that. Okay. This is a skills assessment. This is what this paper is. And in your summary section, which is the next section, you need to write what this is, what the article's thesis is. And then you would begin that sentence with something like, Haley Weiss argues that. And then that would be it. And your second item says, further explain all the major points. Now this is going to have subpoints, isn't it? When we looked at that other outline over here, this is one of those moments where you would have maybe an item 1, 2, 3, or more. You would have some subpoints probably in that section. And then explain to the reader that this paper will, if it's necessary or helpful, include a short quotation. Okay, now the summary paragraph, and we're talking a paragraph. Again, this is a skills assessment. It's very brief, very short. In this section, you're just giving us key points about the article itself, what you think was most important in the article. And you don't say, I thought it was most important. Remember, we're in third person. So you simply say, the key points in this article were, and then you would list them. So the summary has no personal perspective other than you've chosen what points you think are the main points of the article. Then in your responses, your claims 1, 2, and 3, that's when you get a bit more into discussion of that. And then the conclusion. I will be saying this all over again in each of your conferences. And again, I want to remind you, you need to have your outline ready to share with me, your shell, empty shell that has been modified with your own name and the date that you'll be taking the exam. You need also to have the annotated article. So annotated article, outline, and shell ready to share, ready to open up in Word already and ready to share with me because we only have 15 minutes in our consultation. So, okay. Well, that's it for now. Back to your regularly scheduled class session.